And then there were 4.
Wow.
How you doing, guys?
Hi, JJ. What's happening, buddy?
Chilling. I always forget to wear my glasses when I'm on the podcast. I always feel like the odd man out. Damn it.
Hey, JJ. JJ, you have to assign your mic, buddy. It's all room noise. Go for it.
I have to what?
You got to assign your mic. I think you have to assign your mic.
Hang on.
Yeah, bottom of the screen. We got to hear the full JJ. You know what I'm saying?
Bottom of the screen.
Yeah, your settings there. There we go. Anyways, hello, everybody. Welcome. Kids on the Escalator Podcast, episode 38, the end of season 1. Are we doing seasons? I guess we're doing season. Mostly a summer break. That's what's happening. We got the usual suspects here. We got Michael up in the top corner. We got Chris Machete. And, of course, returning for the last episode of the season, JJ. How you doing, buddy? JJ.
Hi, am I assigned?
There
better?
you go. There's the dulcet tones.
There's the juice. Sounds good.
Hello, ladies.
We need that. Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. We need that. We need to hear the soothing sounds of JJ.
Yes,
on here.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. You broke already, right? You guys broke on the JJML podcast for the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, we're out. You guys until probably September. To be honest with you, I'm lazy. I'll be honest as well.
Everyone's on a boat doing shit, camping like us, doing things like that. So
that's
they're not in their car very much.
Good time to just chill on the patio or the porch or whatever and not think about a lot of things.
Amen.
Relax, man. Recharge.
Looking for a house. Anybody got a house for sale?
Are you really? Were you looking?
All day today. All morning we were in Hamilton looking.
Oh,
no way.
Ontario.
Oh.
A little bit in Waterdown.
Wow.
So we'll see how it all plays out. Yeah. That's out by you, isn't it?
Yeah, just down the highway from the old Hammer there. Yeah.
Nice. We'll see how it plays out.
If you look in Kingston, let me know. There's some nice places around.
Probably won't make it that far.
Too far, okay.
What with having to commute into downtown Toronto.
Oh, you're gonna commute? So okay, buddy. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay. That would be too far.
Well,
I wouldn't want to do that.
If you move to Hamilton, if you move close to Hamilton, then you and Mike could start a new show as well.
Yes.
There you go.
Our own podcast.
That's right.
From the basement.
From the basement.
Do the whole thing. Nice. Gentlemen, we're going to cover a lot of things here. So it's been a busy couple of weeks. We had a huge week a couple of weeks ago with Johnny from Silver Spear, which
with all the freaky deaky, mate. It was freaky deaky.
It was freaky deaky. It was aliens, and the space station flew over my house last night at 9:45 p.m.
What?
And I got the text at 9:50, and I could only see it going far, far. But yeah, so we're still, space and aliens still very much around.
That was a great combo. I really enjoyed that. Great. I thought that was really cool. It was we always talk about fun stuff. I think my dad was asking me, he's like, what do you do if it's something you don't want to talk about? And I was like, everything we talk about, I want to talk about, or else I wouldn't be on the show. I wouldn't be coming up with some of the stuff if I didn't like it. Let's talk about math, everyone.
He was really getting to that mind-blowing stage, especially when he posed that question about what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and the moon was cardboard? You discovered how would that affect everything else? And I'm just like, at the time thinking, well, that's pretty deep. I am still a week later, my sister-in-law was visiting, and I was telling, because she's into the whole aliens and that type of thing. And I told her about it, and we got into another discussion about, she's like, the whole world would collapse because everybody would, everybody'd stop believing in what they know. End of civilization.
I'm fine with that. Let's bring that. Let's do that. Let's do that.
No,
I'm down with that.
I just
works for me.
Blissful ignorance. That's what I want. I want to float through life.
We should test it all out by dropping some acid and doing the podcast.
There you go. I'm behind that again. Somebody else didn't somebody suggest that? Brent, you said that one of your buddies.
Well, the guy I was on tour with years and years and years ago. My first tour ever actually had said to me he never
messages during the show.
Yeah, he's like I never trust anyone that's never done acid. And I'm like, well,
I thought life didn't begin until you did acid or something. He said, I didn't know you didn't trust.
I've been around people with acid, and the last guys that I knew that were around acid took my Stone Cold Steve Austin cutout that was behind my drum kit.
I remember that. And I didn't do that, but I remember that. And
made sweet, passionate love to it.
Oh, they filed it.
And other things. And that was
there was I wasn't part of that, but I was privy to it, but I wasn't part of it. We'll just say that.
So
I
hey,
did some acid back in the day. Well, yeah. Sorry, change the subject.
Confession time on the escalator.
Before we get to Loki, before we get to Black Widow, before we get our summer blockbuster list, we got a whole bunch of people coming on this week. Dean's coming on, Lochlin's coming on, Rook, a bunch of guys from the network to give us their list, very similar to what we did at Christmas time. But some stats on season 1 for our listeners at home to know that it's not a big deal yet, but it's a deal. People are listening. So anyways, 37 episodes. This is number 38, over 14,500 downloads, which is great. We've had over 25 guests, including Jeff from Moist, Todd Brent from Slash's band, Ken Lashley, thank you, JJ, Beth Phoenix, thank you, Mike, and Tim from Protest the Hero, thank you, Tim. So that, and Dean, of course, Lochlin, tons of revolving guests and co-hosts as we have here. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching every week on the Dean Blundell Network. Makes it worthwhile when all you guys do that. And we've had a very, very fun first season, if that's what we're doing here. So, and a big thanks to Mike and JJ. We'll get this stuff out of the way now for joining us throughout the season. Really awesome.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Nothing to drink, so cheers.
My parents have seen every episode live.
Oh, very good.
Every episode my parents have seen live. They've been there. So they're like, we got to get them on. I was going to have them over to watch Black Widow and then ask some questions, have them review it and then replay it. You know what I mean? But my mom got her second shot and she was not feeling good. So we could not do it. So I went to the theater and saw it. So
I've got a really good idea. Why don't you get them on acid and then get them
and then go to their funeral the next week.
I've lit a spark.
See, that's the thing about acid, Brent. You can't do it when you're older. Your heart can't contain those kind of things. Yeah, the heart gets going a little quick when you're doing those kind of drugs, my friend.
Gracious Gary, still young at heart. Dangerous Dorothy, running laps. Come on.
Don't you remember live on TV or live on the podcast? I also exposed that I gave my mom a THC candy instead of a CBD one. Remember that? And I it was a mild one, but still she was like, it was a mild one, dude. No, it was like a medical one, but mild. But still she's like, wow, I couldn't keep my feet still. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I don't want to do that again, she said. She's listening right now. There you go. Cheers.
Well, hello. Reminder to everybody to join us over on YouTube and everything. Subscribe and all that fun stuff because we're going to build that thing up over the summer and hopefully come back swinging with 30 subscribers. So that's the big plan. That's the big plan. All right. Lots to get to. Man, where do we start? We could start in Marvel land here. Let's go
through the new shows, huh?
Let's go with this here. We reviewed the other ones. I think it's time. Let me just bring up the graphic here. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
So who has seen Black Widow here? JJ, have you seen it?
I have not seen Black Widow.
I've not seen it. Okay, guys. Mike, you've seen it though?
I've seen it, yes.
Mike's seen it, okay. Yeah, Brent's seen it.
Let's do a review without giving it away for JJ.
Of the Black Widow?
JJ, do you intend on seeing it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's just, I could do a spoiler-free review. Let me go last though, because as we all know, before I do my review, but as we all know, there's a lot of superhero movies these days, right?
Yeah.
Like and TV shows, and me having read all this stuff since I was like 4 years old, I'm okay with being the heavy-handed guy.
You're tainted
in these circumstances. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna like everything, and I'm gonna be a little more. So let me go last.
Okay. Then let me be the sort of not newbie guy, but kind of in the middle. Saw the Black Widow film. We rented it on the Disney Plus because we couldn't wait till the theaters opened up here in Ontario. So, which is fine because we, had the nieces and nephews over and the kids were downstairs. We made a sort of a home movie night. Did the Cineplex pre-show stuff just for kicks. And they laughed. And then, we watched on the old big screen in the basement here. And from strictly a, not having read a lot of sort of the comic stuff growing up, liked the movie, probably would have enjoyed the movie more had it come out earlier. I think, for me, having sort of known how the Black Widow storyline kind of goes as far as Infinity War and Endgame, I think it would have been cool to have this sort of along the way, which is not to say I didn't like the movie. I liked the movie. I thought it was great. I love Florence Pugh. She is brilliant. I'm no doubt
she played her sister. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt that she is going to be she's going to be a player in the next sort of phases.
So I keep hearing
Dark Avengers.
Yeah. She is
Dark
excellent.
Avengers.
Her character, I mean, they played really well against each other. And I liked it. And again, I don't know the backstory. All I knew about the Red Room was from what we've learned sort of along the way in the Marvel universe. Casting was great. I would just maybe say the big bad wasn't as bad a big bad as it could have been. So, but again, great film. Question some of the ends they tried to tie up. Some neat little callbacks, some great jokes that sort of fit into that sort of later Marvel phase. You know, early Marvel wasn't so jokey funny. The later movies post Thor Ragnarok, I think they got a little more into the humor. This had a little bit of that, which I appreciated. And what's his name? David, the guy who played Red. I
can't remember his name either, but the dude who played Red
the guy
Guardian
from Stranger Things, Red Guardian. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great. Again, casting excellent. Florence Pugh, she's going to be huge. David Harbour. That's it. Thank you. She's going to be huge. And I'm really looking forward to how they're going to incorporate what we saw in Black Widow and moving forward. And they did a really nice job trying to tie it into the timeline where it would have fallen into. Although Scarlett Johansson, she's beautiful. I love her. She's in the top 5. But it's kind of like seeing Tom Hiddleston in Loki. He looks a little older than he was back when they're trying to sort of portray where he is.
That's probably what you're saying is when they took this picture.
When they drew that.
Probably
that is
3 years ago.
Seriously, that's some
JJ,
nice little touch-ups.
Yeah.
Your turn. Let's do a review without you actually having seen the movie. Go.
Oh no, JJ, what are you looking forward to seeing in this movie? What are you thinking, man?
So what I'm looking forward to is the actual spy espionage part of the movie. From everything I've heard, it's trying to incorporate the elements of a Jason Bourne styled spy espionage sort of ambience and aesthetic. That's what I've heard. I'm also interested in how this is going to tie into the inevitable multiverse, if that is even part of the game plan. And Scarlett Johansson, she's dynamite. She's not my top 5. She's definitely top 10. I think she's a fantastic actress outside of the Marvel universe as well as inside the universe. So I'm always curious and eager to see her performances and just how it fits into the whole MCU as a whole. I'm a fan. What can I tell you? So
yeah,
you're looking forward to that hidden scene at the end, like I was, right, buddy?
Oh, always.
I'm so looking forward to that hidden scene at the end to see.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I haven't heard too much about it. I'm trying to keep the filters turned on every time I'll see like a thumbnail or whatever. Why the villain is looking like this, or I'm like instantly look away, turn it off, kind of thing. So
nice.
Yeah.
Hi, Karen.
Karen's giving her family mohawks right now.
Oh, nice.
And anyone watching at home, all the rest of it, if you want to weigh in on this, leave a comment on either Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching. We'll grab it. We'll say hello, give you a little shout out.
Nice.
My turn. I get to do this now.
I got a faux hawk going.
Hey, listen, for me, it was behind the original Iron Man and Ant-Man. Like the third best for me. I liked it.
What?
I loved it.
Gosh, wow. You gotta be kidding me. Seriously?
Loved it. I loved the arc. I loved personally, I think
you just liked all the girls in there, I think. I don't know.
Well, it was an all girl
heroes. Yeah, you just like watching all the girls.
You know what? It seemed like a little less convoluted. For me, personally, because with everything that and how it ended, I mean, they were fantastic and incredible, but there was 55 storylines trying to get wrapped up in those last 2 movies. And I thought, just for me personally, it was a more kind of broken, like dumbed down version of the thing for me.
Easier
and I
follow?
liked a bit. Like, I mean, as you guys know, I'm a DC guy. So for me, it was like, I'm not as deep in, and I know Chris is going to probably have an issue with some of the stuff in the movie. But for me, it's like Florence, as I said, Florence is like a big. I thought she was great in it. I think Chris has got his thoughts on the bad guy, but I really, really liked it. I just thought it was done. It was dumbed down, breakdown, really good origin for her.
Is there anything negative you have to say about it?
Good question.
That would be tough. Probably after Chris weighs in.
Okay.
Because then I'll be like, right, Chris. Yeah, you're right. You know, all the rest of it. But overall, I mean, I like the simplicity of it. I feel sometimes with a lot of that world especially towards the end, with Endgame and all the rest of it, they were trying to tie up so many things. And I was kind of like, okay, did this get tied up? This thing just seemed like a nice little like, oh, here she is, and she's doing this, and now they're doing that, and there's the bad guy, and there's this, and there's the
right.
It just was a little bit more. I really liked it, but maybe I'd have to watch it again to rank it in there. But currently, as it stands right now, I really dug it. All right.
I was
Chris,
waiting for you to say that it didn't have enough Emily Van Camp in it. So
yeah, we won't see her again. I don't think we're not going to see too much of her, unfortunately, right? All right, Black Widow.
All right.
Okay, first of all, it was really cool to go to the theater. If you saw any of my online pictures that I do for my online media, you can see me there at my feet. Mike, it was great to hear your new little dialogue there, buddy. And it's funny because when you're sitting there watching it, me and Lonnie, you just want to say, I know that guy. Everybody's listening to you, right? And some of them are like mimicking you and stuff, and it's really funny. But you want to say, hey, that's my guy. I know him, but we don't. But you want to, right? Yeah, I know that dude, man. So anyway, so it was a great send off for the Black Widow because she needed a movie, right? This was almost like, her kind of send off for Marvel, I believe. Yeah, I thought the White Widow was amazing. I thought she was really, really well played. She's obviously moving on. I'm not going to go into the hidden scene, but
thank you.
We know, yeah, we from other hidden scenes we've seen Elaine Bennis. She's rounding up people for this job.
Elaine Bennis.
Yeah, Elaine Bennis is in there, right? So we're all the scenes might interject here. Loki's one was great, but we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, it was a good movie. I didn't think it was a bad movie. Definitely didn't make my top 5 Marvel movies. What I really disliked about it was the villains. Like the mwahaha twisty mustache villain is really lame. And he was the same. That villain, I could almost mistake him. You could swap in or out Wolverine's arch nemesis who turned him into Weapon X. And I'm blanking on his name for some reason right now. But in the X-Men movies, there was the professor, the scientist guy.
Oh, Stryker.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. You could have supplemented him in with this villain, and that's not good. There's so many villains you could choose from. So my problem is with all these villains to choose from Marvel, that villain right there was really weak. On a scale of 1 to 10 on villains that you have to choose from in the Marvel universe, that guy's about a 2. All right. Now you got the Taskmaster, who is on another level, probably an 8. And the fact that that they changed the gender from male to a female doesn't bother me at all.
What? What?
That
Spoiler!
Oh, sorry. I thought everybody knew about that.
Spoiler!
No, JJ's avoiding. avoiding.
I thought that was like all over the internet.
Chris needs to stop his review now.
I thought that was all over the internet. Like,
your winner is eliminated.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that Darth Vader's Luke's dad. And then
no, I thought because that's what everybody's talking about on the internet. Oh, sorry, that's like.
JJ's been in a cottage.
I'm sorry, buddy. Did you know? I'm sorry, dude. I'm really sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
JJ was up in Barrie with Mel. JJ was with Barrie up in Barrie with Mel doing a podcast, and a tornado took him away for 2 weeks.
Oh man.
So anyway, so the villain though, like Taskmaster, like that's I thought there's even a hashtag thing about that. I apologize. Anyway,
all good, brother.
That's the minor change though. Like that, so they changed the villain Taskmaster so much that my point is that the fact that they went from a male to a female is no concern. It really isn't. It's like when you find out the other things about the Taskmaster compared to the way the Taskmaster is in the comic books, the way he has meaning, he has purpose, he's a mutant. There's lots of things that they changed. They basically took a story behind the Taskmaster like this and went like this. Okay. So my point of doing the gender thing is it doesn't even matter. It really does. And it shouldn't these days. Like, honestly, that shouldn't be a point in any character, whether they're Asian, whether they're black, whether they're white, whether they're female, whether they have a penis or not. You know, like honestly, for as a reader so long and a watcher,
like that stuff is penis in their hand. Is that what you mean?
Wherever they want, man. That's what I mean. Like wherever they want to have it or put it.
Is this a Marvel graphic novel that I don't know about?
It could totally be. It could be. See, I'm trying not to hit my microphone and put Marvel my hands on the table,
dark,
right? But yeah. So my point is that whole gender thing and race thing with it. To me, I'm cool with whatever, man. I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it.
Nice.
And it's the details in behind that they're doing. Now, picking the main villain with the twisty mustache there, that was a bad choice in my decision. And to me, as I mentioned before, man, the Joker, right? The Green Goblin, that dude who the Black Widow fought against with the mustache and the computer screen, that was right there for her to F with. Right there, like she comes in and all she has to do is pull his computer out. Dude, there was like she had to get like a code or whatever. But, wow, that was so lame.
Was there at least, if I can ask, and hopefully you can answer without spoiling anything, is there at least good motivation behind the villain? Do they have a good purpose, a good cause, or is it like...
Well, as I mentioned, JJ,
on my show when I was a kid.
Without spoiling it was the same as Wolverine kind of thing, man. It was like, because I don't want to ruin the motivation behind it in case there's more levels, but my best answer to that, my friend, is that take the villain in Wolverine Weapon X and put that person in here. Okay. And you basically got that and then that's basically what we're doing here. So my disappointment is in how they changed the villains' backstories and the choice of the main villain. Okay. So other than that, I thought it was a good movie. By no means was it a great movie, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
There we go.
So JJ, in answer to your question, my problem with Black Widow was all the things Chris just said. No, I'm good. I happen to like the villain, not as a villain. I happen to like the actor, so I was kind of happy to see him in there doing the. You see,
I will say credit to, Florence Pugh especially, and David Harbour as well, for the accent, like that. It's people always go back and joke about Kevin Costner in Robin Hood and how, that was the worst accent ever. This movie, like Florence Pugh, if you've seen, anybody see the movie Fighting with My Family? Where it was like the, I guess
she was Paige, right?
Yeah, Paige. And, brilliant in that. In this one, like the Russian accent, like top shelf, man, top shelf start to finish. And that's, again, I think that just goes to the quality of the Marvel movies and the attention to detail. I'm assuming that the Wanda Maximoff losing of the Russian accent, we'll figure that out. It'll pay off.
That'll be explained
as we move forward.
Mike, as a voice actor, do you do a Russian accent, brother?
I think everybody does. A terrible one. It takes a while to get into it.
What's that?
Because
a Russian wrestler.
No, everybody always defaults to Drago.
That'd be funny.
It's difficult. We go here, we go there, we do stuff like this.
That's pretty good, man.
It's crazy.
My little guy just turned 11, and he was saying thank you to everyone who came to his birthday party. Comrades, thank you.
It's very much. It's very much in the back of the throat. There's a lot of that. That feeling,
Why
it's
not?
Boris and Natasha from when we were growing up.
Yeah.
You know who does a terrible? You know who does a terrible Russian accent, Mike?
Who's that?
Nikolai Volkov. You think he'd get his Russian better from being
old
there?
He was Ukrainian, by the way.
Right. Well, how about the NWA, or was it the AWA? The wrestlers there, and the one guy was like total American dude.
Oh,
very
Barry Darso, who was one of now I'm wrestling there.
Demolition.
Barry Darso, who was in Demolition, yeah.
But they would just go and they would just kind of things right there.
Nikita Koloff. It's funny, Nikita Koloff, who is very much not Russian, but back in like the 80s, he was like people figured he was very much Russian.
Very much Russian. Yes, I remember those ones. Those were great.
Wrestling is theater.
He's like, Nikita, can you sign this?
Japanese.
Nikita, can you sign this autograph? Yeah, man, sure thing there, kiddo. What do you got there? He's probably got like this.
Went to school with Dusty Rhodes, right? Didn't he? Or one of those guys like that?
What's that?
Or Magnum TA. Didn't he go to high school with like Magnum TA? And
I don't know. That I don't know.
Those guys, I think. The Road Warriors and stuff. They all kind of went to the same area, I think.
Oh, probably they all played college football together. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So final rankings on it. Let's give it a Diener ranking out of 5. How many Dieners out of 5 are we giving it here?
2.5. 2.
Wow.
It was good. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great. It was
I was actually going to go 4. I liked it. It was maybe it's because I haven't seen a really good film, blockbuster film in a while, but I liked it. It's 4 stars. And like I said, Scarlett, she's, curse you guy from SNL. Her, Colin Yost.
Yeah, but she's a serial divorcer, so that's got a couple of weeks left.
Oh, fuck.
She's moving on. All right, boys, moving on. So that's I'm giving it 4. Yeah, I'm a 4. It's not 5. But I thought the original Iron Man was the best of the lot. Personally, just I loved that how they started with it all. But I'm giving it a 4 Dieners for me.
Given all your reviews, I think I'm going to wait till October till it's free on Disney Plus.
No. My only regret is I didn't get to see it in theater.
Chris is like,
you're not. Well, as I say, JJ, I was pressed because I thought I was going to miss out on something that has to do with the whole Marvel universe, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, fellas. We know Black Widow survives at the end of this because it's like,
what?
when she dies, right?
Oh,
yeah,
right,
well, you know what I mean, right?
Right.
Like, she's. Yeah. So that was another thing going into it. It's kind of like, all right, well, nothing serious is going to happen to Black Widow because this picks up. They've said it that this picks up in between the movies that have gone in the back, right? Civil War and that. So yeah. So which is why I say it would have been nice to have this before Infinity War and Endgame. Because I agree.
Because I also think it would have really enhanced her death.
Oh, would it ever? Huh?
It really would have enhanced her death in Endgame.
Where were you on that board meeting, Mike? Man, that's a great idea. That's exactly what they should have did.
So Chris, then let's go back to this for a minute. And why don't you give it a so you're at 2.5 stars post-COVID. What would it be pre-COVID if it was lining up in order?
Oh, no, I'm thinking even further back. Like Mike was saying, I think if it went even further back, Mike, were you suggesting it was right back, like before she died, kind of thing?
Like if it would have been after Civil War.
Yes, that's what so that's way ago. That would have meant a lot more.
Had you seen this movie, if it came out after Civil War, what would you have given it?
Well, it's hard to say. Oh, is my mic on? No, my mic's good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're on.
Sorry. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd have to be back in the place with it, right? Still, the villains let me down though, and you know how I need a villain, so I don't know how much I would have respected it more, and I would have thought that you need to watch it now, but as it sits, it's a good movie, but I wouldn't rush out to see it, JJ.
Would you give it another half to move it to a 3 so JJ can go to the theater? Because at 2.5, JJ's waiting until October.
No, but I would have
trying to get some more money for Kevin Feige here. Come on.
Well, I'm trying to get more money from Mike because every time someone goes to see a movie, it goes into Mike's pocket because he's telling him.
It's 5 Deans. He was awesome.
Stop being a Tommy Texter. I wish he didn't have to be so political, Mike.
No, it was his new one. It was the new one, Mike. It was the
COVID one.
The COVID one. Yeah. I got Mike's new stuff, dude.
That's the greatest hits.
We were the first. Yeah, dude. We were the first ones to open out here, and I still have Mike's old tracks. If you have a dial-up phone or a flip phone,
they play both of them, right? We got
please.
Mike's old stuff and his new stuff. I got the greatest hits of Mike going at that time. It was really good.
Please,
if you feel the need to use your Discman while watching the movie,
you were in the wrong decade. Get back in your car.
It is time to move on. I sent you a little thing there. So anyways, JJ, it's up to you now, bud. We're going to go here. We're going Loki. He's a happy little dude. JJ, have you seen Loki?
Yeah, all over Loki's balls.
Right. So you get to start today with Loki's balls. Go.
To me, it's the best of the Marvel TV series. I may like it more than The Mandalorian. Just fantastic performances from Tom Hiddleston, and every time Jonathan Majors was on the screen as Kang or the one who remains, I was just mesmerized. Holy shit, that performance was outstanding. The delivery was like unlike anything I've ever seen before. Unlike any villain, unlike any character really I've ever seen before. Totally unexpected, realistic in a outside of the movie's realistic kind of way, like it was so foreign yet familiar at the same time. I like that they kind of abandoned the god of mischiefness about Loki, and they stuck to like sort of the psychological aspects of who he was and his motivations. And I'm just excited for how this whole time war or multiverse war is going to sort of play out. The big question that I'm left with during the whole thing is, or at the end of the whole thing is, when the point comes in the story near the end where he who remains gets to that point where he doesn't know what happens next. What was that point? What happened? What was that?
Oh, the timeline opened up.
Right. What was that? What was that thunder he heard in the background that kind of startled him?
Yeah.
Like what event was taking place? Was that the birth?
Was that Galactus, dude?
Or was it Scarlet Witch?
Oh,
was it her coming into her nexus being fruition, puberty? Whatever it is, when she was becoming the nexus being that she had just become, was that happening at that point? Like, I just can't wait for it all to come together.
See, that's how you do it, right, dude? Like, that is how you
absolutely. But overall, the performances, Owen Wilson was fantastic. Everybody, every single actor in the show, what's her name? I wrote it down here. Gugu Mbatu Rob who played Renslayer. Also fantastic, intriguing characters. I can't wait to find it. Like, I was so relieved when they said there'd be a season 2, because I thought, okay, well, this will just, I fully expected there not to be. I thought it would all kind of now play out in the crop of movies. Spider-Man
and everything.
The Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and everything. So, very exciting times. It's taken it up a level for me. As far as comparing it to Scarlet Witch, it's to me, it's next level. That's all.
You liked it better than WandaVision.
Oh yeah, totally. Just in terms of for me, WandaVision was great. It just became a little gimmicky, and for me, this was less gimmicky. I just wanted more. I wanted to see more Lokis. And the lines in it. What did old Loki say? Sweet purpose? No, magnificent purpose. What is it? What he called out?
Awesome.
Oh man,
yeah.
It's just
a
glorious purpose. Oh man, that was dynamite. Just I don't know.
How about the little frog Thor stuck in between the levels there? Doink,
yeah,
in the jar, trying to grab
all the little Easter eggs, the Thanos helicopter and the big the wasp helmet and everything. There's so many Easter eggs. Like, this is one. Scarlet WandaVision, I haven't gone back to watch a second time, but I will watch Loki 2-3 times, I'm sure.
And there was also the Stark Tower, the Stark Tower. It wasn't called Stark Tower, right?
No,
it was in the debris. It was what it was called. It was Kang, but it was spelled differently.
Q-E-N-G. Yes.
Yeah, Quang or Kang. It's Kang basically spelt differently, right?
Yeah. And then of course at the end, the big Planet of the Apes ending.
Yes,
fantastic.
Was fantastic.
And then Kang is, Kang in the comic books is actually a long descendant of Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four.
Yes,
which is incredible. But that was I started. The funny thing about this one, JJ, because I'm not a huge Loki fan from the comic book, so it started off, and I was like, excuse me, I was like, yeah, this is okay. And then it was the same thing. I just didn't dislike it. Didn't really think it was over the top. And then it started building, and the more actors and actresses that jumped on board, were phenomenal. Yeah. And that was the one thing that I kin this to the Scarlet Witch or the WandaVision is just the actors and the actresses just nailing every little thing they do, adding like layers to their character with just their dialogue, man. It was so good. And then when the older Loki came in with the classic outfit and the little dude and all the Easter eggs in that one.
Loki.
Dude, wasn't it great? His little eye movements just said it all. Oh man.
And that's where Marvel succeeds over every other franchise, even Star Wars, is that they pick fantastic actors and just even if the story is like, the actors like just carry it through because they
buy in, right? They buy in and they
own it.
Everything they got. Back in the day, it's like, I'm doing a superhero movie. Now it's like, I'm doing a superhero movie.
And they do it. They do what Jared Leto just can't seem to get right. There, I said it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's okay to say it because
it's a podcast. And that's what we do.
It's freedom of speech.
If a DC guy is giving the head shake to Jared Leto, you know you're legit. So
is there anyone that overacts more than Jared Leto?
Oh man.
That's a whole other thing. What was the movie that he won the thing for with McConaughey?
Dallas Buyers.
Yeah.
He was great in it, but he was like,
did he win an award for that?
Wow, I didn't.
He won
I forgot.
Yeah, he won the supporting actor for it.
MTV award.
Well, you ever see Jared Leto smile? He's got some kind of evil. The guy, I just feel like he's got a motive all the time.
Yeah, it's like Shia LaBeouf, Jared Leto, same category. Sorry,
there's some.
Do it.
There's some Morbius. There's a new Morbius trailer or something. Isn't a new Morbius trailer coming? And they got Jared Leto. Which it kind of sucks because I was sort of stoked about the Joker angle that they were going to take with him if they would have kept going with the Zack Snyder approach. But anyway,
I think that was. I don't think that was the Joker though. I think that was Jason Todd, right? Man. I think that was Jason Todd. And wow, would that ever been a great loop to keep going forward with, man? That would have stuff like that would have blew people's minds. They come out with the next Batman or whatever, and it's like, like, wow, that there's what happened to that guy. Because if you look, his costumes in the Batcave, but there's a question mark spray painted over top of it, right?
Yeah.
There's all these little hints. And then if you look at the extra scene in the Snyder cut, everybody's older, but the Joker looks actually younger than everybody. He's got the grilled teeth in. He looks like he's actually in with what's going on culturally, hip. He's hip to the times which was going on around him. He's a young dude where Batman's like, those crazy kids. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? So so that would have been a great twist. So that's what DC's missing. Turn that around. And we were also discussing, just not to go way off topic, we were talking about a Batman deal here. Oh, the new Titans season coming out and how the Jason Todd is going to go the route of the Joker and the Red Hood. Right. And remember, Brent, we were talking about that scene where the Joker's doing the crowbar on him. Oh, it's in there.
Yeah.
I saw a preview for the new Titans season, and it's in there. That shadow hand coming down with the crowbar on Jason Todd on Robin. Right. Oh, so heartfelt, man. So heartfelt. Look, dude, Titans is great. Titans is one of the only DC things I've seen that I've just have to keep watching. Other than Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut I love.
Right.
Superman and Lois. I keep pushing you guys to Superman and
Lois.
I
know, but I got a bad feeling I'm gonna get off my lawn. I don't like it.
It's good. They've really, especially with how they've wrapped it up, it's fantastic. So
cool.
It's not the traditional Lex Luthor thing. Even Zod's not even traditional. They've done a whole twist on it. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Okay, so where are we going here? So Chris, that's you on Loki. You're feeling good about it? Feeling good about it? All right, Mike. Mike.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as everybody. I think of the three post Avengers Endgame series, WandaVision was going to be tough to top. I thought they did a fantastic job in sort of teeing up the potential of the multiverse and with sort of the Nexus event. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I liked it, but sort of after watching Loki, you kind of get a real sense of how far down the list it sort of plays.
Yeah.
Again, the casting, brilliant. Tom Hiddleston, one of my favorites, and he's just really entertaining to watch outside of playing Loki. If you ever get a chance to just see interviews where he does, impressions of his fellow cast members and stuff like that, it's just brilliant. Sophie DiMartino as Lady Loki, as the Enchantress, Sylvie, she was brilliant. I thought it was weird it was kind of uncomfortable and awkward at times, the sort of love interest relationship that they had. But if you go like real deep, I mean, Loki loves himself. So of course, it reminded me of that Seinfeld episode where Jerry dates the girl who is exactly like him. I'm in love with myself. That's it.
I can't date her. I hate myself.
It got a little weird, but you can't deny that scene sort of at the end of episode 6 where he's trying to tell her like, no, we can't kill him, blah, 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 blah. You're better than this. Don't make the same mistakes I would make and all this stuff. It was, I hate to throw it back to Star Wars, but it gave me that whole vibe from Last Jedi with Rey and Kylo Ren. Like, don't do this. I know you're better than this. You're better than this. And then, she kisses him and then chucks him back through that portal. I thought that was just, again, what you're saying, like Kang, the introduction, amazing. Most people don't know who Kang is at this point. And I love how they didn't mention his name because He Who Remains is one of the, the multiverse versions of this character. And, ultimately we do get that reveal, the Planet of the Apes reveal of the statue of Kang.
Yeah.
And I love how it's the way it was directed, the way it was shot, you got this, oh my God, he's running through the library again. And there's Mobius and 15. And it's like, okay, guys. And then there's this, who are you? And I love Owen Wilson, but man, Owen Wilson, he's the same note. Yeah. And it's so funny because everything just becomes very quiet. And the more quiet he gets, and then he gets really excited, but he gets really quiet and then he whispers. And that's when he means everything he's talking about.
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Excellent Owen Wilson.
It's way better. It was way better than your Nikolai Volkov.
Thank you. But I just love that because that's just, I love that about Owen Wilson's acting. But again, the dynamic between Owen, like Mobius and Loki, like in the earlier episodes, it really got into this cool buddy cop kind of, feel. And I really, as it was moving along, I'm starting to get invested in the characters, which is something I didn't get invested in with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like I like them, but there's nothing really that's making me care too much about it. Yeah. I loved the arc with Loki and how, at the beginning of the series, he's still Loki from original Avengers. So he's still God of Mischief. He hasn't gone through that, that personal change that we see over the movies. But you do see that through these 6 episodes. And I don't know, you talk about all the Easter eggs that were in this and way more than I probably even could figure out, especially for you, Chris, because the frog Thor I got and then the Mjolnir or whatever, like Thor's hammer in the ground, like that was cool. But it's things like it's the extra little things that they do in these series that kind of go, okay, so let's think back to, the first Avengers movie and like how Loki was, this really not really sure if he's good, if he's bad. And then, then you see that arc and it was really cool to see that in a 6-episode series. And speaking of the Easter eggs, that theory that some fan did about how the 6 episodes, were actually based on the Infinity Stones. I don't know if you heard this.
No.
So in the first episodes where Loki is going in the office and he opens the drawer and there's all he's like, the Infinity Stones. Oh yeah, we got all these, and it was
paperweight.
Yeah, it makes it seem like the Infinity Stones were useless. It made no sense, had no point. Which to me personally, I thought that's kind of a shitty thing. Because that's almost a letdown as a fan because it was so important to that first, that first phase of the Marvel movies. Like this was and now you're telling me it's kind of like, again, Star Wars reference. It's like when Luke gets the lightsaber and throws it over his shoulder. I kind of got that feeling. But somebody pointed out that if you break down each episode And the way it was shot color-wise, they followed the 6 Infinity Stones.
Hey.
So, which, if you look at each episode and what happened, you can pinpoint that each stone represented the theme of the episode. So clearly there are some super huge uber nerds bigger than us that were able to pick that out. So whether or not that's true or not, I mean, that was pretty impressive.
Let me just, if I may just say that the fact that the Infinity Stones were like paperweights at the TVA, it kind of lends to the fact that He Who Remains, or Kang, will be an even more formidable foe than Thanos.
True enough.
And the Infinity Stones in the Gauntlet in the Avengers movies, I mean, they only apply to the one universe, whereas Kang is multi-universes, right? So, to me, rather than it being a letdown or a shade, not a shade, but a shade to the last phase of the MCU, to me, it's like, oh shit, is this now? I can't wait to see what's next if the Infinity Stones mean nothing in this.
I totally get, and they hammered that point. Even like, I know the Thanos copter appears in the comics, does it not, Chris?
Yeah, Thanos original. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because again, like for the casual fan, again, seeing the Thanos copter makes it just seem like, hey, Thanos wasn't that bad, but behind this smoke monster that we have, which is not like the smoke monster from Lost, this one's actually, going to do some damage.
Yeah.
To your point, JJ, this clearly is going to be a bad guy. And then when you're introduced to He Who Remains, it's like, really?
This guy?
This is
Lochlin's head. Lochlin's head spinning because he always joins this podcast right in the middle of a hardcore MCU universe.
Are full on geek mode right now. Yeah.
How are you, buddy? Welcome.
I have a question for you guys, because you know where I stand with all this stuff, and you know my lack of knowledge on it. Should I watch? Is it Loki? Loki. Should I watch
Loki?
Only if you refer to it as Loki.
My name is Loki. I live on the second floor.
Yeah, but everywhere you go from now on, Lochlin, it's like, I just watched that Loki show. It's great.
So good. I heard a lot of people that were not nerds that were like, that's actually a decent show. So maybe it's something that I should explore, because right now I've gone back to watching Shameless. So I know the show.
Lochlin, have you ever dropped acid?
I did.
Yeah, it's watching Loki is just like dropping acid.
Loki is
Loki.
Yeah. I did acid in 1992 on my way into Lollapalooza.
Oh, there you go. I was at that event.
Yeah, and at Thunderbird Stadium in Vancouver. I was in Vancouver. I was going to radio school at the time, and a friend of mine who got the tickets said we should do this, and I went, okay. It's the last time I did any psychedelic, and it wasn't enjoyable for me.
No.
I had what I guess is referred to as a bad trip, and to this day I can't listen to Ministry.
Oh no!
Oh, wow!
Yeah, acid ruined Ministry for me.
Well, to this day, a lot of people can't listen to Ministry anyway. So it was a bit of a time. Yeah. Hey, so Lochlin, we've only got Lochlin we've only got Lochlin for a handful of minutes, and it is our season finale wrap up here. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a lot of thugs, but one of the things that we're getting into today is the blockbuster, the summer blockbuster, and sort of like
or just summer movies that you enjoy. Because I got three movies that I enjoy that I don't think they're blockbusters. I don't think they're they're great movies.
The movies that were released in the summertime, or that usual like after May long weekend, the studios are like, all right, here it is. It's these things. It's sort of things over the years that you would have been down with. So before we start,
that's a great summer movie, Jaws.
We got Big Chris standing by. Hey, Chris, you can hear us back there from the network, but to avoid us having 12 windows open, we'll just do this for a minute. So the first thing, I'm going to run you guys through the top 10 according to Rotten Tomatoes, the summer blockbuster movies of all time. Starting at number 10 was Star Wars: A New Hope. The remake of Star Trek, The Dark Knight, comes in at number 8.
Those don't ring summer. They ring my closet of comic books. I don't know.
Finding Nemo, at
there's
number
one with water.
7.
Okay.
Up at number 6. Alien at number 5.
Wow, what a
Toy Story 3 at number 4. Inside Out at number 3. These are the highest ranked summer release movies. Mad Max, Fury Road at number 2, and number 1, E.T.
E.T.
So
wow.
Really, because
I
got Summer Rental on mine with John Candy from 1985. I don't know why that's not.
That's a good one,
and that's like one of the best summer movies ever. So I got this in a different perspective. So Lochlin, if you want to just pick movies like that reflect summer, go for it, buddy. Whatever you got, buddy. Whatever's on your list.
You know what? It's funny because I've seen a lot of those movies, and I was trying to think of whether or not I was actually in the theater to see them in the summer. And you know what? One movie that I remember going to was Reservoir Dogs.
Now, movie all time.
I remember. Now I can't remember if it was a summer block. Was it, guys? Was that a summer blockbuster?
It was with me, my friend.
Was it? Okay,
that's a great movie.
I just remember that one. That movie, I actually went to the theaters because I remember somebody talking about it in a restaurant that I was working at the time, and they were like, "You got to go see this." And then ever since then, I've always been a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I wanted to bring up True Romance with Christian Slater, which is another sort of loosely tied into Quentin Tarantino, because he wrote the screenplay for that one. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think he directed it. I'm not as knowledgeable as you guys about stuff like that, but I think he was involved in the writing process, because I think he actually ended up fighting with the director about the ending because he didn't like the ending. And those are the two, and I think it's because I am I'm a big I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan, but I do remember the Fury Road, which is funny that came in as high as it did, because I was a big Mad Max fan when I was a kid, and I was so excited about that Fury Road when it came out, and was not disappointed at all. I think that's one of the better. And the other Ridley
Scott did that. Yeah, he did a remake, right? It was Ridley Scott that did that.
Yeah,
you know,
that did Fury Road.
What's his name?
No, it was the guy that did Blade Runner 2049.
I'm sorry, I should know
that. Did Babe Pig in the City.
Babe Pig in the City.
James
Miller.
James Cromwell. Oh, George Miller. Right, George
Miller. Yes. But I don't know if you guys are big fans of that of the Mad Max, but the Fury Road really stood up for me.
Yeah, it was dynamite.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Is that my 3?
Well, you can put in as many as you want. I know you got to jump. You could jump if you want and promote your show. Do all the things you got to do. This is the hit and run segment that we do here every year. Twice.
It's funny you bring up Acid, because we're having. I'll promote the podcast. I'm on the Dean Blundell podcast with James and Dean, and we do that weekdays in the afternoon. We're live, and we are actually having a conversation right now about doing shrooms.
Oh, nice.
And doing a podcast on shrooms. And I've never done shrooms before.
Do it in tea. Take it in tea.
Okay, tea's the way to go.
Tea or a milkshake.
We're having a conversation about the possibility of that happening. So that should be interesting.
I'm gonna check that out, my friend.
Man, that's taking the WKRP.
It totally is. I was just thinking that. Tom's got a hat. I want a hat. Beautiful.
Where can we find you online, Lochlin? All the good stuff. Where can they find your show?
Find me on Twitter at Lochlin Cross. I put everything up there. So yes, guys, thanks for having me.
Cheers, buddy.
Daily on the Dean Blundell show. A must listen to every single day. Gotta listen.
Don't forget to watch Loki.
I'm on Loki. I'm on Loki, guys. All right.
Thanks,
have a good one. Take care. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye. Fun stuff. We had Allie. Allie was here. Where'd she go? Anyways, we had Allie from.
Too nerdy. I'm out.
She's like a sausage fest. Gotta go.
She's like, I'm not hanging out with this. This isn't happening. So, hey, Big Chris, what's happening, buddy? How are you?
How's it going, gang?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah,
doing all right, man.
Yeah,
what's shaking?
Okay. I'm just. This is my first inaugural mission in my new home studio. So
sweet.
It looks and sounds okay over there. Just getting things.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Looks good.
Yeah, just put.
You look extra handsome.
Gotta go. She's like, I'm not hanging out with this. This is what happened there? Hey, Big Chris. I lost Chris.
How's it going, gang?
Oh no, somebody's watching on delay.
What's going on?
Who's on delay? What's going on?
Somebody said mushrooms, and I thought I was tripping out.
Sweet.
It looks and sounds okay over there.
That's got to be Ryan.
That's me. Here now.
That's you and your goddamn Kelowna internet. So, hi, Allie.
No, Allie's there. So now what?
There's Allie. Now, Allie's got company over, so you've got about 5 minutes to jam this in. This is Allie from the Dean Blundell Network from a brand new podcast. Why don't you tell us all about it?
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you. I haven't seen you guys in forever. I have a brand new podcast. It's called Welcome to Mars. It is now my solo adventure. I'm very excited, and it's only going to get better from here. So, yay.
Right on.
Nate, welcome to the show. Welcome to hanging out with a bunch of nerds, talking a bunch of different things, blockbusters and all the rest of it. So, Lochlin just weighed in. We'll kind of go through the guest list here. Allie, I think Chris, you can hang for a bit, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Allie's got to jump, I think, because she's got a house full of people, because that's what they do in Alberta. So, Allie, why don't you talk about your favorite summer movies and where we can find you, and we'll let you go.
They're wooing from the patio. I don't know if you could hear them.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do my all-time favorite to begin, The Lion King.
Lion King's your favorite summer movie, or just favorite movie?
No, it's my favorite summer blockbuster. That's going to be probably number one on my list.
Nice.
The Lion King, the remake or the original?
No, the original. The remake is good, but the original probably takes the cake.
Copy. A copy. Okay.
Copy.
Next.
Next.
Yeah, I thought the original was.
I'm going to do Grease.
That's a classic. That was the first movie I ever saw in a theater. Yeah.
Really,
Yes.
Chris? I just learned that. I was today years old when I learned that Chris's first movie was Grease in the movie.
In the theater.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was. I was really little, but that was that's one of the things that my parents told me, because I thought it was Star Wars. I'm like, no, you saw Grease, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Chris was 22 when he saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got the record as well too. It's a gatefold and everything, and I used to. Yeah.
Yes, I have the record too. I actually bought it on eBay once on my parents' credit card, and I didn't think anything of it. And then it showed up, and I was like, "Oops."
Yeah, it's good. It's a classic.
Yeah.
That's quite a span. Like Lion King to Grease.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty. So what's number 3?
I just realized that both of those are kind of like musicals too. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Shrek.
Again, more hit songs in that one too.
Yeah, you're going with this theme of there's a lot of singing in these three things here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. There's no wrong answers here. There's no wrong answers.
It's good to have them all connect. That's yeah.
And it's all positive. It's all happy.
Yeah, The Shining wasn't in there, I noticed.
Yeah, what's the most miserable movie on your list?
Yeah.
Can you? I mean, you're hanging out with a
There's
bunch of
there's no sad bastard rom-coms in there. Nothing. No.
Yeah.
I know. The next one I actually only came prepared with 4. But The Dark Knight. So I guess that's a little bit of a different turn.
There you go.
I didn't know
that's in the summer though. That's a summer blockbuster.
That's happy.
It is.
Oh, that's a happy movie.
That's good. That was a freaking great movie.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking awesome.
This is kind of didn't really end so well for one of the actors.
It wasn't
Too
exactly
I don't know.
like a family get together. Like, hey, it'll be okay. Like a lot of people died.
Yeah.
Positive way, right?
Well, Allie, since you got a house full of people, these are hit and runs. So you're welcome to join us again at Christmas for your favorite Christmas movies. But or come back anytime. Tell us all where you can find it and a little bit about what the new podcast and what it's all about.
So currently I am on still every platform you get your podcast on. You can find it, the most popular, obviously, Spotify and Apple. Welcome to Mars with a Z. It's going to be the exact same podcast with a little bit of a different direction. It's just going to be solo. I will have a rotating chair of guests, and I'm going to try and go more towards like a kind of a YouTube kind of aspect as well with it. But I'm going to try and have a variety of different people on the podcast, ranging from like artists in Calgary, and I'm going to try and get a friend of mine who's a DJ, and I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'm excited for this new direction by myself.
Nice.
I recommend that you put Ryan's mustache on your show as well. He's been growing.
It's getting a lot bigger. Now I don't have a mask, people know it's there.
Put the mask
Ryan,
on my.
we can get your
Ryan.
mustache on the show. We'll chat.
It's all available.
Just the mustache. That's it.
Just the mustache.
I'll get a green screen or something.
Allie Marz.
My friends on the patio were like, mustache rides?
Of course.
That's a different podcast.
Again.
If you insist.
Hey, and I believe Allie just put a brand new episode out in the debut episode of her new show where she's like, "That's it, I'm not drinking anymore," which she says every episode, and I think that should be the end. Like when Ron Burgundy tells San Diego to go fuck themselves, you should be like,
Why,
you should be like,
Ron?
I'm Allie, and I'm not drinking anymore, and then there you go. So, thanks, Allie. Go have some fun with your friends.
Yep. Say
Be
hi
well.
for us.
Thanks for stopping by.
I like 5 days of stampede. I will. Thanks
So
for
did the
having
rest
me,
of your
guys.
province. So did the rest of your province, Allie. It was crazy. Be well. Have a good night.
I know.
It was nuts. Everyone see the Calgary Stampede madness? Anybody?
No,
see the
I missed all that.
madness?
No, I was watching Jeff Bezos' Dick Rocket. Sorry, I've been.
Oh yeah,
That like
the
that.
Bezos Dick Rocket. Did you
Straight
guys
out
see
of straight out of Austin Powers 2. That's what it was.
You guys find that? Go ahead, Chris. Talk about your blockbuster movie. I'm going to find that caption because it's very, very funny. Actually, there's a great comparison. Chris, give us your blockbusters, buddy.
Oh man, so how many do I get? 3.
Top 5. Let's go 5.
Okay, all
Sure.
right, cool. So while we mentioned Austin Powers would probably be one of my favorite summer blockbusters. Again, these are all going to be throwbacks from my youth, probably because each one I remember. I just remember the smoking hot day and escaping to the movie theater with air conditioning. So Austin Powers is certainly one of those. But two that I think I'm not 100% certain. Back-to-back summers, I think. Terminator 2. I mean.
Yep.
The use of CGI, like it was just like I had never seen anything like that before as a 7th or 8th grader, or however old I was, and it was a kick-ass movie. And then I think it was the next summer, Jurassic Park. Like that was when they used special effects to make you cry as a kid, like seeing dinosaurs for the first time. Call me sappy or whatever, right? Like that was a powerful moment. Like, even though you knew it was a movie and everything, it was like the most real dinosaurs had seemed in your lifetime, other than the museum and everything, but it was the most real that they'd ever looked. And so it was a powerful moment. At least it was for me. And I know a lot of other kids of that era. So those would be 3 sort of like mainstays from my youth. Now I had to actually look this one up, and I think all time greatest summer blockbuster, and in my opinion, the greatest movie, like period, of all time. And I looked it up to make sure it was released in the summer of 1984. The movie Ghostbusters, guys.
Yes.
On the list. It's on the list.
It's everything. It's comedy. It's sci-fi. It's action. It's a little horror. It was a visual masterpiece of its time. And arguably actors in their prime like Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. I mean, dear God, does it get any better than Ghostbusters? So
Bill motherfucking Murray.
Put that with a pin right at the top of the list there for me. So that's my picks.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, that was a good list right there. And so there's so many from our youth. Somebody from our youth that.
Yeah, I'm all about the nostalgia, man. Bring on the 90s.
I love how you say from my youth and you say the 90s. I just feel really old now.
That's where we're at now, man. Like I was in the lineup at a convenience store the other day, and some kids are like, "Oh yeah, Pearl Jam, classic rock." And I was like, oh my God. But it's true. It is. It's classic rock now.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain's like a legend that it's such a mystery. And...
Yeah. Oh, there
you go.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. That's Bezos in space today.
Oh, that's hilarious.
His ship compared to Dr. Evil's ship. So there you go.
It's not mine, baby. It's not mine.
It's not my bag, baby.
I swear.
Quite the pissing match. The race of billionaires to space, and of course Bezos went up 25 more feet or something.
Yeah.
Just to say he was higher.
He pissed just a little further.
These assholes got $250,000 to go into space. Would you guys pay $250,000 to go into space if you had it?
No, sir.
No.
If that was like pocket change to me, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, well, pocket change, one thing.
That's what I mean. Like, if I get a little nauseous, so maybe not.
It would be a little wacky.
Although it was pretty interesting to see the makeup of the two different ships. Like, the Branson one seemed a little more, I don't know, relatable, I guess. The Bezos one just seemed like a bunch of old white rich dudes that were like, I'm just going to spend money. Look at me. I'm going to space.
Well, the live stream was better. I like Branson's live stream. He had Stephen Colbert hosting it. I mean, nothing get better than that. I felt like, Bezos was slightly lower budget. He didn't get a celebrity host.
Well, he had a full budget, and then, half of it went somewhere else.
He put it into the giant dome on the tip of his rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a battle of the billionaires. It's so stupid. There's people without food, and these fucking clowns are going into space. It's kind of silly, but that's as political as we get on this show.
That's
Big
right.
Chris, Big Chris, I don't want to scare you. But careful.
Oh!
You're scared.
Nice. Look at that.
Where can everybody find you, buddy? You're on the Dean Blundell Network. Where else can we find you before we let you go?
Everywhere. Big Chris Live. Chris with a K. It's a Spotify, Apple, iTunes, DeanBlundell.com. I don't know. And the live stream, of course, happens on my Facebook page, Big Chris Radio, Chris with a K, on Facebook, on all platforms, really. Find me, join me, join my adventures, see the world through my eyes. I talked to some guests you might have heard of, like the guys in the Tragically Hip or the Trues. I played bagpipes in a Trues song called Highway of Heroes. So I mix it up and I chat with friends of mine on my Rolodex in the music industry. B-class stand-up comics who mostly play free shows. I give them a platform. Happy to give them a platform, and of course, because I'm one of those B-class stand-up comedians as well. So, montage of people, friends, family, whoever I think is an interesting storyteller or entertainer. I always try and give them a mic. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for
Chris. Hold on, Big Chris. If you're a B-level stand-up comedian, what's your best bit?
My best.
We'll give you the platform. We'll give you the platform right now.
The best bit? Oh man, I don't want to. I can't just do my bit, but I'll give you the premise. Is that I used to date a lot of hipster chicks, and I would be on a date with them, and they would be talking about whatever article they found interesting on the Pitchfork that day, whereas I'm staring through those beautiful lenses on those giant glasses and thinking, I just want to fucking come on your lenses right now. I saw it one time on the suggested links on Pornhub, and now I got converted right then and there to being a glasses guy, and so anyways, that's
shit.
One of my
that took a 90-degree turn. That's awesome.
Chris,
That's awesome.
You better Costanza and leave it on a high note.
Yeah, but anyways, that's the absurdity of it, is that it sort of set him up, knock him down. So, anyways, thanks, man. I'm out, Jerry.
Awesome, buddy. Come back anytime, man.
Absolutely.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers.
That's good.
As I slowly take my glasses off and set them to the side.
That reminds. I was just listening to an interview with Hank Azaria, and he was talking about when he was a stand-up, and he did some bit where it was he did William Shatner. He says, I didn't do a lot of impressions when I was doing stand-up because most comedians poo-pooed that, but he used to do a William Shatner taking a shit, and it was all like Oh, it was brilliant.
Nice.
Brilliant.
Speaking of taking a shit, Dean Blundell joins us.
Hey, buddy.
From the network, our host
on glasses. I got fucking people taking shits. It's all good.
fearless leader.
I'm trying to leave that world of comedy, dirge comedy behind you guys. So
blame Big Chris, who just joined us and dropped a giant load on us.
Dropped a deuce and took off out the door.
What was that about? What was that about? He just admitted to like having a glasses fetish and wanting to cream on some glasses.
He said he was a B-level stand-up comedian, and then we asked him to drop a B-level stand-up comedian best bit joke, and it turns out it's all about dating. And where does he live?
I don't know if that's dating. That's not dating. I've dated a lot. That's never happened on a date.
Maybe you weren't trying hard enough.
I try all the time.
Man, we're gonna make Ryan good, man. We're just hanging out, talking a bunch of stuff. We're talking summer blockbusters. We're talking
Lukey. Said anything
we're talking Lukey as per Lochlin. Lochlin calls it Lukey. We're talking Lukey, and we're talking.
He's not invited back.
Black Widow. How you doing, Diener? What's up?
Black Widow was great. Watched it. Fuck, I'm good, you guys. I'm really good. I was. Can I just interrupt? Listen, I just gotta interrupt your show for a second. Hi, I'm Dean. Everybody, I'm an alcoholic. No, I am, but that's not a meeting, right? It's a meeting. No, I want to interrupt everything because I love what you guys did this year. Loved it. It was so cool watching you and Mike and Chris and Brent, and then JJ would pop in, and watching you guys cycle people through the show. I got to nerd out in private without being embarrassed with you guys for a full year.
Perfect.
Full year. You guys brought it, like you guys, you educated me as to the Marvel universe. I got fucking way into WandaVision, and then that set me up for Loki, or as Lochlin calls it, Lukey, because he's an idiot. Like you guys have enriched the lives of so many people, nerd or non-nerds, that I just want to thank you. I've really enjoyed it.
Well, we appreciate the space on the network, man. We appreciate the space on the network, and trying to have as many people on here as possible. Of course, we're trying to have as many people from the network on. We had Allie on earlier, who's having a party on her patio, like they do in Alberta, so she had to jump. Anyways, so and we got Big Chris on. We got Ryan and his mustache on.
Yeah, what the heck? I'm waiting there. I'm just like hanging out. What am I doing?
Yeah,
here?
you're gonna wait till the end now. We're gonna wait till the end because you're gonna wait till the end.
You let Dean on. I've been sitting here. I was polite. I was being nice.
If you plug your microphone, if you plug your microphone in, your blue microphone, Ryan, maybe we'll put you on the fucking show. It's not plugged in. We can't hear you. You didn't assign it. It doesn't work.
It's here. Count. It's here. What? Am I not talking? Can I hear my words?
You're good, buddy.
You're kind of Mikey got.
He's becoming the Matt Damon to our Jimmy Kimmel. Is that what it is?
Oh, that's what it is. Well, that's awesome. We got pinching you.
So we better get Ryan on here because his house might burn down because he lives in Kelowna. Ryan, give us your top 5 blockbusters.
Top 5. I'll give you 10. I'm just kidding. So definitely. I'm of the ilk Fast and Furious, the first one, because I haven't seen any of the others. So you know what? Like you go there and then you saw the douchebags as soon as you leave the movie theater and they're like, "Oh, let's go racing." Like, no, just enjoy the movie.
Shaking my head.
You can shake all you want. It's a good movie. It did what it needed to do. I found that I didn't have a Honda Civic or any of those other expensive cars, and I got in a Suzuki Swift after, and I thought, I'm just like you guys. So that was one of them. I would say going back to the late 90s, so definitely classic rock era, obviously. I'm just kidding. American Pie. I remember seeing American Pie.
Yes.
That was one of those ones, like I couldn't believe I got to go see it. My friend's sister got us in, and it was like one of the first rated R movies I got to, or 18A, I guess, in Canada. And I just couldn't believe this is next level stuff. So definitely American Pie. Definitely Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon. That was a fun one. I remember waiting in line for. Was Ninja Turtles the first one a summer blockbuster? I know it came out in March, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw it in the summer.
It should have been if it was.
Can I ask Ryan? Are you kidding with all these movies? Like, you're joking, right? Like, you're just talking about.
Have I ever joked with you? Have I ever joked?
Transformers?
Yeah, it's a summer blockbuster. Did it happen this summer? Was it a blockbuster? Check. That's two things.
All right.
Yeah, but we're not talking about like the ones that made the most money. Like, we're talking about your favorite ones.
It was fun. I saw it in the summer. I enjoyed it. It was great. And then Jungle Book, I saw in the summer.
He's just talking about movies you saw in the summer. That's what he's doing. He's just competing.
I thought that's what you're asking. Isn't that what you're asking? Jungle Book.
Your favorite blockbusters, like your biggest movies that you loved. He's not asking you for like.
You're saying summer blockbusters. Do you want me to talk about movies that happen in the wintertime? No, it's summer.
Yeah, but they have to all be shit.
Matrix Reloaded, that came out. That was
there's no one on this planet. There's no one on this planet that has a favorite movie with Megan Fox in it. That
listen, when I'm 65 years old like you, Dean, we can have this conversation. But now,
all right,
now we're going to talk movie, and then obviously this guy.
Yeah.
However you want to flex that. There you go, Ron Burgundy.
Anchorman. Thank you. Greatest one-liner from all the movies. Really?
Why would you say that, Ron? Why would you say
Too
that?
hot. No. Too hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah. So
I killed a man.
You don't have to agree with me, but those are my things. Those are my summer blockbusters. So screw you. I don't care what you think, Dean. These are my movies. They're not yours. They're mine.
That's why you live alone in Kelowna.
That's probably why you guys keep me so far away from the network. So.
Oh, man. Ryan, you get to stick around because we're going to do Nerds on Ice after this. Diener, give us your list, buddy. What do you got?
Favorite movies?
Well, your blockbusters, your summers.
Okay, so this might come as a surprise, but I have none that would match with any of Ryan. There will be blood.
None of mine did either. That's okay.
There will be blood.
Beauty.
Gangs of New York. You're going to get a real Daniel Day-Lewis trip here, guys. Gangs of New York is one of my all-time favorite movies. This one will blow your fucking minds. Magnolia with Tom Cruise, one of my all-time favorite movies. Maybe some of the best acting you've ever seen in any movie. And at the end of it, you're like, what the fuck is going on with the frogs? But trust me, none of it makes sense. You're just there for the acting. But I love the movie. I would have to say the Watchmen, not the Watchmen. Watchmen.
The Bourne Identity. Forgot about that one.
What are you wearing now? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? Hold on a second. We got to.
Still here?
What is this? The tribute to Biz Marquee?
Dude, this is my Mr. T chain.
That's a swag chain.
Yeah.
No, that's a Kelowna chain. That's what they wear down to the Beckers. So
and my white sunglasses I left in the kitchen. I apologize.
I'm on movie number 4. I didn't interrupt you, Ryan.
You did too.
Well, I was allowed because I own everything.
All right, you get a pass.
Okay,
keep going.
No, just kidding. And I would say, you know what? And this is going to sound really odd, but have you guys seen the movie Soul?
Yes.
No.
The new one?
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, it is. I've watched it. Fearless Fred and I were talking the other day because we were golfing, and we were talking about this movie for like 2 hours. It is one of the best movies you will ever watch if you watch movies for real meaning. Like if you're sitting there listening about enjoying your life, making the most out of your life, actually trying to do something that makes you happy and following that happiness to fruition. Like really, truly about living a happy life, a full life, a joyous life. Like it was, and it's a cartoon. I remember watching it. I was like, I got nothing to do. No kids here. I'll watch Soul. Bawling my eyes out like a big pussy, bawling my eyes out. And I would highly encourage everybody to watch it. I mean, you could be feeling down about life or wondering where your space is, but that movie Soul, I swear to God, I've probably watched it 15 times. I think it's brilliant.
Wow.
You know who also bawled their eyes out, Dean?
Who?
Ryan, when Paul Walker was dead.
No,
Ryan when Paul Walker died.
I didn't. Like I said, I've only seen 2 of them. It's about family, guys. It's all about family. It's all about family.
It's all
Up
about
was a good one too.
family.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you want to start telling Paul Walker jokes, Brent? It's your career.
He opened the door, man. He opened the door.
Yeah, I've never seen.
I like
a guy
making
get
passive.
canceled from the internet, but this might be the day.
I am all about making as many jokes about the Fast and Furious as possible. And if
that
one
is
of the guys
a shit franchise. I fucking watched the one with who's the dude? Jason Statham. What was it? Fast something with the Samoans. I can't remember.
Yes,
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, Fast Samoans. It was called. I fucking watched this thing. And I'm like, I gotta watch something. And Jason Statham, he's pretty good in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And I thought, I'll watch it. It was literally the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. And you know what it was? Because I have to watch something that's somewhat believable.
Right.
There is nothing believable in Fast anything. Nothing. There's zero. Oh my God! Look, Vin Diesel managed to turn a tow truck into a fucking flying saucer off the cliff of Samoa, and somehow brought it all back around, landed it perfectly, and everybody's now having dinner at The Rock's house. I guess I don't know. Like that was the whole fucking movie.
Just another night in BC out here.
There you go.
We have the semi truck, so that's too dangerous out here. So
yeah, I guess so.
It's too dangerous. Dean, thanks for having us on the network, man. Thanks
for
having us here,
buddy.
Thanks for
having this show and giving us a platform to be nerds and hang out and
you know what? I love it.
Things, so.
I love it. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You guys watching you guys express yourselves and have a place to go just to hang out. I mean, I think that's kind of all this is, right? It's like a daycare for old guys. But I've really loved it. I mean, I really have. Watching you guys operate and do content and get to know each other has been great. So thank you. I mean, I really mean that. It's been just great to watch, and we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. I'll be touching you guys soon.
Itching.
Sounds like a page.
Then it truly will be Fast and Furious, right?
I'm all hands, Mike.
Bring your glasses.
You have no idea what happens when you and I get in a closet or some type of closed space together. I'm all hands.
I'll trust that over Big Chris because I am wearing glasses.
Hey, by the way, this podcast is now sponsored by Costco. We all have
there you go.
Glasses
wearing sunglasses.
Enjoy your night, guys. I love you.
All right.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers, Dean.
Fun stuff. Man, that was great. This is going to be great. We're just going to keep that. Ryan, why don't you get something else to put around your head and then we'll keep going.
I'm looking. Don't worry. I'm looking. I got my power glove somewhere.
Let's go to JJ. JJ, what do you got, buddy?
Well, first of all, I'm happy to say I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies. Not one.
You're missing out.
I haven't even seen the trailers. All I know is that they exist. That said, I was really into. I always loved the blockbuster that had a fantastic car chase in it. Probably, and I'll give away my age here a little bit, but them Smokey and the Bandit movies from the early '80s got me into loving comedy and car chases. So my list, is it 4 or 5?
That could be
Doesn't matter.
All right, Terminator 2 was just like next level for me. The special effects and Schwarzenegger and the whole nine and all the lines, and it was dynamite. Then the Bourne Ultimatum, which was the third, which I thought should have been the last, but to me it was just, man, Paul Greengrass and Matt Damon was just like obviously incredible, and it should have ended there. He swims away. That should have been it. Swims away. Why 2 more? And Beverly Hills Cop Part 2.
Oh, wow.
Really did it for me. I just the look and aesthetic, and Eddie Murphy was just at the height of his game, and it was just fucking hilarious, and just, the whole Beverly Hills and stealing a house and all of it was just fantastic, funny. And Inception. I could have picked any Christopher Nolan movie, but I always go with Inception as my favorite of all of his. Of course, The Dark Knights and all of Batman Returns, and all of them in that trilogy are just fantastic. But I'll go with Inception just for this podcast. I'll go with it. And that's it. Those are my, and I just want to point out, I know Dean's not here, but like 3 of his movies were all released. All them Daniel Day-Lewis movies were released in December or January for Oscar contention. They were not released in the summer at all. Sorry to nerd out. Sorry to call you out, Dean.
In the movies I picked.
The bike helmet.
Oh, the bike helmet.
And a power glove.
Ryan.
Wow.
The real one.
That's awesome. Wow, look at that.
Wow.
Ryan,
Hold that up again,
Ryan,
please.
Can you hold that up again? I make sure I bring it. Maybe not a lot, but enough.
That is really. Can
Ryan,
you hold that glove up again? Let me see that glove. Hold the glove up again.
Oh, there we go.
There, thank you. Wow, dude, that's friggin' cool.
The real one.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Man. Wow.
It's also what Ryan.
Remember the big frame around the TV?
Yeah. That's funny because there's this classic movie and then the kid had one of those.
The Wizard.
Yeah, and he wanted to go into competitions and
with
stuff.
Fred Savage, man.
So bad. That's so bad.
Yeah, I love cheesy movies while I'm drawing.
I think that was a summer blockbuster.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was because
great movie.
they were tying that into the launch of Super Mario 3.
That's right. That's right.
Ryan, does that glove work?
It does. I don't know where the frame is. It's at my parents' house, but I made sure. I'm actually going to put it in like a case in my basement man cave.
That's very cool, my friend. That's
So
very cool.
It comes out every now and then, especially for you guys, because Dean talks about nerding out, and I mean, this is like one of my favorite nerd toys. So
that is
coincidentally, it's what Ryan wore to school for like the first 7 years of school.
Yeah.
That's the original Fleshlight, isn't it?
The thing is, anybody that knows anything about it was actually the original Fleshlight. Anybody that knows about the original Power Glove, if you had one, it sucked. It was like the worst controller ever. Like we had Punch Out, we had Mara Excite Bike. It was like the worst controller. Like I got it for Christmas, and within like a week, I'm like, this thing blows. So
took you a week to figure it out.
Yeah, so I'm sure didn't Super Nintendo or N64 come out with one?
Yeah, it was like the original 10 Nintendo one though. That's like the holy grail of Nintendo stuff, right? Like
it's up there. I don't have the little robot that came out with the original Nintendo, but yeah, this thing will die with me. That's for sure.
Cool stuff.
Nice
cool stuff.
Michael.
All right. It's at this point in the proceedings, there are a lot of repeats. T2, absolutely. That was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Not just for, the special effects were kick ass back then, but it was such a cool, considering like I liked the first Terminator, but it wasn't great. It was like, okay. But this, like, it's almost like they took it to a whole new level. And yeah, I mean, think of all the things that came out of just even like, I'll Be Back. Like, it's a legacy that's gone on. Amazing movie. Probably the only really good Terminator movie. And they tried so hard to try and catch the lightning in a bottle afterwards. And everything after that really sucked.
I didn't mind that Christian Bale one.
No,
I don't think I've seen that one.
Is that the one where that's the one where he was yelling at everybody, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I think if that didn't happen, it would have done better.
I'm surprised nobody, maybe because I was a huge Family Ties nerd, but Back to the Future was huge for me. I think I was like 12 years old, and like it was, that movie blew my mind because the whole time travel thing. And, the great thing about that movie when you saw it back then is you didn't overanalyze how completely and utterly ridiculous they're playing with the timeline thing and how that all worked. But again, absolutely love that. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yes.
Was immense for me because I mean, I loved Han Solo and Harrison Ford. And then all of a sudden here's this kick ass, like, at the time I thought it was some sort of like a weird, not cowboy thing, but they made it seem really, I don't know, swashbuckly, I guess is the word, but it was so cool. And again, back then the special effects at the end as a kid freaked the shit out of me when they did the whole face melting thing and stuff like that. So that kind of stuck with me. Anchorman, absolutely. I don't care what anybody says. That is a summer blockbuster and a half. Amazing film. And the honorable mention to the Avengers, I mean, that was, when it came out, it was cool. This one's a little kind of to Dean's soul thing. Toy Story 3. I'm sorry, because I was a, kid who played with a lot of toys as an only child. That movie, at the end, like there was a lot of emotions going on, and I thought it would have been the perfect end to that series of films. And then they had to Disney-fy it and make more money by bringing out Toy Story 4, which was okay. But I thought Toy Story 3 was just, from the way it was written, the acting, and the heartstrings that it pulled. It was pretty solid. So yeah, those are not really blockbusters, but
I got a question for you guys. Speaking of Anchorman, when the DVD came out, have any of you guys seen the 2-pack Wake Up Ron Burgundy?
Yes.
To me, and it's debatable, it's almost as good as the original, I think.
The secondary story with Maya Rudolph, I thought that would have been better,
because you get the whole backstory of like Brick and Champ and everything, and it's so funny, and most people haven't seen it.
I didn't see that.
It is because they had so many outtakes and cuts. They're like, let's just put it into another movie, and it's like over an hour long.
Yeah,
like it's great, and the storyline's a little bit wonky, but it is so good.
I'm gonna go to Chris.
I'd like to see that. Okay, well, your turn, buddy. Okay, I took a different angle on this. I got 3 summer movies that are basically based on summertime and that I have to watch every year. I watch these once a year, summertime. So the number 1 is Summer Rental with John Candy, like from 1985. Man, like that's a summer movie to me. Like Star Wars is a summer blockbuster, but that's just like a great movie. So I went a different way. So if you haven't seen Summer Rental with John Candy, this 1985 film with Karen Austin, also a very young Joey Lawrence. Whoa. He's in there. Yeah, man. So Summer Rental's great. Like, I don't know what else to say. John Candy, summer, and a summer rental place. It's just fantastic. Now, another one, and this, I just love this movie. The Burbs was released in 1989, and it's got Tom Hanks, Bruce Dern, Carrie Fisher, and Corey Feldman does a fantastic side job in this one, too. He has a great little role. But it's basically about Tom Hanks taking a week off of work, sitting in the subdivision and going crazy, like just with stupid little things in the subdivision. And I used to do that. I used to take a month off though in August, and I would go a little crazy as it went on. So it's just such a great movie. If you haven't seen The Burbs, man, you got to watch The Burbs, and you have to watch it in the summertime because these are movies that if you watch when there's snow on the ground, it just doesn't make much sense to me. Now, another one. Now, this is a movie that could be mistaken for like a fart joke kind of movie, right? But it's not. And it's Adventureland, and it was released in 2009. Yeah. This is a fantastic movie. The soundtrack in this movie with like the replacements to Lou Reed to David Bowie's Modern Love put it in a perfect spot. It's amazing. And the cast, Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Ryan Reynolds, Kristen Wiig, Bill Hader is incredible in this. Him and Kristen Wiig, they run the park. The basis of it is in the summer of 87, a college graduate takes a nowhere job at his local amusement park, only to find it's the perfect course to get him prepared for the real world. And it's such a good movie. There's one scene in this movie. This always reminds me of summer times when I was a teenager and how much fun we used to have. So there's a scene in here where the 2 leads, the male and female, Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart, are sitting in their car together, and she's giving him a ride home, and they just met, and there's a song playing on she puts a tape in, cranks up this tune, don't want to know if you are lonely. Can't think of the name of the band, but a great song. And there's no talk because they just met, but they got a crush on each other kind of. And he looks over at her, and he reaches over and he turns it up, and they just smile at each other. Now my young Jedis out there, that's your move. That's your move. Anybody you're interested in, that they put I guess it wouldn't be a tape these days, but they turn on a song, smile at them, turn it up, and smile back. I guarantee. But that moment there just brought, like, as a songwriter and just as a comic book writer, that moment was fantastic. Like, and there was a few more moments like that in there that I really, really enjoyed. And then Bill Hader would come in and just be friggin' hilarious, man. Guy's not throwing garbage in the garbage can. He'd run after with a baseball bat kind of thing. It's just great. Adventureland is like, these 3 movies, to me, get you into summer. You know what I mean? Adventureland, the guy's working at a summer park. Such a great movie. I've just started watching
in Toronto Island
Go ahead,
as well. Isn't it filmed on Toronto Island
I
as well?
don't know.
Center
I'm
Road?
not sure.
I think it is.
I don't know, but
so.
great movie, dudes. Ryan Reynolds in it as well too. It's just one of my favorite actors. I think he's great. And Jesse I won't watch my own films. Eisenberg's in there as well. But the soundtrack makes it, and it starts off with "Bastards of Young" by the Replacements. Down, now, and then just goes into the city scene and with Jesse Eisenberg at a college party, and it just goes from there, man. It's like again, my classic thing: characters with layers. And just it reminds me of those last summers when I was like in my teens, where you just kind of you're out meeting people for the summer, and it was a really good time. Yeah.
Nice.
We got to throw meatballs in there.
Well, again, there you go. That's another one that I would put in there. Meatballs too. Meathead. Meathead. I think it's Meathead. Meathead. If you see Meatballs too, you get that. But it's so funny, man.
When you talked about that move, the turning up the volume, it makes me think of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, another
when he goes on the date and Damone's like, you got to get her in the mood. You put on side one of Zeppelin 4, whatever. But he puts on, I think, Physical Graffiti, and it's like Kashmir. It's like da 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 da. It's like, yeah, that's so not sexy. That's so not getting in the mood. But it's amazing. The soundtracks, though, for a lot of those movies, those really. I mean, that's kind of part of that whole summer blockbuster thing. When JJ mentioned Beverly Hills Cop 2, immediately I'm hearing Shakedown by Bob Seger and I Want Your Sex by George Michael, which that summer was huge on the radio.
Yeah.
So
I got one more to add in here on the end of this. And Vacation, the first Vacation, where they go to Wally World. Like that's a summer movie. Another one that I'd like to watch every summer.
Roll them up.
That kind of got ruined for me though, because it was on TV so much, and it's hard to change a channel, right? If it was ever on, but now
the remake is fantastic. The new one's really great.
Oh yeah, I've seen it once. I got to see it again.
It's Griswold Springs.
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah, Chris Hemsworth's in there. That's right too. Yeah. That is funny. That's my list.
Yeah, I got okay. So Big Chris talked about growing up. And I was like, ooh, yeah, you know what? That took me back a little bit. So one of the great movie experiences I had going in the summertime when you're like, you're going to the movies and you're like, you're 8 or 9 or whatever, and you're all excited to go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Frame Roger Rabbit.
Oh,
Frame Roger Rabbit.
I forgot about that one.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit for me was just a side boob, cartoon boob. But it was like it's such a great movie to be like that age when that came out. And obviously Jaws is in there. The Dark Knight for me. Chris Vacation's for sure in there. And God, there's so many honorable mentions. Saving Private Ryan. That was like Jesus when that thing came out in the summer was crazy. But Step Brothers.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
Step Brothers for me because I had stepsisters, and then I also had Step Brothers, and I was like, wow, they nailed it. So
the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The Catalina wine mixer.
Now I called that as one of my favorite Christmas movies, if you guys remember.
Yeah, and it was released in July, but it's
If you like to watch during Christmas, that's your bag, man. Yeah,
that's right.
There you go. Hulk hands. That's okay.
Another actual,
quality, but that's okay.
another Will Ferrell produced one, with another great line in it. So Anchorman was, milk was a bad choice. In Step Brothers, when they're fighting on the front line, and he's like, yeah, well, I put my balls on your drum set. And he goes, yeah, well, my drum set is a guy. So that makes you gay.
Yeah.
That's just like, what? Who comes up with this line? It's just
the whole concept of their side business, investors,
maybe
possibly you.
Yeah.
Just brilliant.
So hey, man, we covered a lot, and we got a few more to cover. Anybody got in a rush to get out of here because we got Nerds on Ice? We can get into.
I do have to roll. Thank you guys so much for having
JJ.
me.
Yahoo!
JJ, it's good to see you again, buddy.
Podcast.
Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, on all social media platforms at Toronto JJ. The Unfiltered with JJ and Melanie podcast is on hiatus and currently chipping away at reposting episodes that were taken down due to copyright infringement. So over the course of the summer, you can go into our best of catalog, which will start to populate over the next few weeks. Unfiltered with JJ and Melanie. And of course, I'm the producer of The Block on CBC Music nationwide with Angeline Tedaweo. Fantastic show featuring Black music. That's it. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, JJ.
I'm back next season, eh?
I will.
Back next season.
Yeah.
Right on.
Happy to have you anytime. Thanks, man. Woo. Yeah. Great stuff. What did we get here? Sorry. When you had your outfit on, Ryan, there was just a bit of, that's why I said Kim's really nailing you here.
Kim's your fan.
You know what? I've never been on a short bus. Truth.
There you go, Mike.
I know that sounds debatable, but I haven't.
So, gentlemen, we got a couple more. We got another segment to get to before we jump here. Obviously, we're going to get to Chris on Skeletron, but before we do that, it's the award-winning skit that part of the show that TSN and Sportsnet will tune in to get all the hot takes. Here we go.
Nice. Sorry, I don't have any reverb.
Well, they couldn't hear it because the video was playing. You got to play it again.
Do it one more time.
Nerds on ice.
Now I feel it.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the expansion draft tomorrow. Seattle's going to take not Carey Price. I don't believe. I think they'll be nuts. They're going to be nuts. So Ryan, being our hockey expert panel from the PP1 podcast in beautiful Burning to the Ground, Kelowna, British Columbia, tell us your take on the. Did you say home to Nickelback? What?
I said cue the Nickelback, burn it to the ground.
Nerds on Ice final. Well, let's go. This is going to be the 1 minute hot take. Ryan, final thoughts on the season, expansion draft, and there we go.
Final thoughts on the season. If we're talking about my Vancouver Canucks, it was awful. I still love my team, but they were god awful, and I can't wait for next year when we get Pod Colson. Congratulations to back-to-back champs. Number one bullshit, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Absolutely great that you can also wear the Conn Smythe as a hat. So that's crazy. And I'm looking forward to the expansion draft and the draft and my team eventually getting to another Stanley Cup playoffs. Not the final, because that's asking a lot. So Braden Holtby's going to be going to Seattle from Vancouver. And you know what?
Who else?
Eventually they're going to acknowledge me for something, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. So yeah.
Who else from the Canucks is going to go there?
Well, it'll just be Holtby.
Who do you think, Chris? Who they're going to take from Toronto? Who's Seattle going to take from Toronto? Oh, your mic is off.
Is there a Montreal producer here somewhere? Is that? Well, then I'll just hop in with my. I think the Kraken will take Alex Kerfoot. It makes the most sense
because they have already done a video for it.
Yeah. It's. I think that's a no-brainer. And hey, kudos to Kyle Dubas for making the deal for McCann, because hey, he's. I think you get a little bit of what Kerfoot brings at a much cheaper price, but I'm with you, Brent. I don't think Price is. He's not going, and Braden Holtby makes the most sense. Little senior leadership there for a younger goalie tandem. So, yeah, I don't know.
I was hoping for a better season out of him in Vancouver. I got to tell you honestly.
I think he was too.
Yeah, I didn't think it was there. Chris, I don't think we can hear you yet, buddy. No,
you're
going to have to go out and come back in. I think you're going to elbow drop it.
The Rock.
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe just reassign the mic, Chris. Reassign the microphone.
Freddie Anderson? What? No.
Reassign the microphone. Yeah, we'll do that.
Sidney Crosby. They're going to take Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Hey, now isn't Marc-Andre Fleury unprotected as well, right?
I don't think so. But you'd think I know, but I've been busy swimming and enjoying the sunshine out here. So I can't quite remember actually. Expansion. I'm gonna Google it. This is what everybody else does on their podcast. Just Google.
They're gonna take that guy from Florida. Yeah, we got you. There you are.
There you go, Chris.
Back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah. We're going to take that guy from Florida, I think, as their number one.
Yep.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, Chris, final thoughts on the season for you.
Oh, man.
Obviously,
I'm a Leaf fan.
I know.
Who earns, man? That was like bullshit. Somebody needs to spank Mitch Marner and tell him how to, fuck up and play against real defensemen, dude. That's seriously, that was pathetic. That was really bad. Hey, I'm still a Leaf fan, but Willie started it by holding out for all that money, but he gave it to him. I guess I don't blame Willie for wanting more money. Everybody wants more money, but Willie started it. There you go. So Harry Potter gave him his money. Mitch Marner came in. Sure, we'll give you more. Well, how much do you want? Sure, we'll give you this. Too. Yeah, well, it's ridiculous. So you're giving all these kids that are like whether they're hockey players or not, you give any kid that much money, they're not going to behave properly or think properly. Or if I had that much money when I was 21 years old, I'd be dead by the time I was 25. That's just these guys will still be alive, but they're not making the right decisions in life. I guarantee that Shea Weber got Mitch Marner in the corner and said, "I'm going to fucking kick your ass, little boy." Mitch Marner peed his pants and went to the bench. Has Mitch Marner ever really worked in his life? Maybe not.
Probably not.
Wendell Clark did. Wendell Clark worked really hard in the farm. Doug Gilmour had a hard-working job. Pardon me?
Joe Thornton worked on a farm.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I could be way off base here, but when it comes to the playoffs, when you need a man to dig in the corners and score, and you got these kids getting paid millions of dollars, you're not going to get it. There's my opinion of the Leafs. There you go. And
hey, I mean, look at Jason Spezza. I mean, here's a guy. Gold. Yeah, and again, coming back for another year at the league minimum. Why? Because he loves to play the game and he loves what Toronto, the potential of Toronto. And I think guys like him, you hope that it's going to rub off. Shea Weber definitely must have done some rubbing off on Cole Caulfield because that kid, man, I was expecting him to get pounded as they got further on into the playoffs, and he didn't. And that blew my mind. I don't know if he got the pass because he's the young kid, but he looked like a little tiny guy in a sea of gigantic men, which Marner basically did against Montreal. And they just, like you said, scared him off.
And one of those guys looked like he fit and the other didn't. Like Cole Caulfield, he looked like how Cale Makar did it, right? You get the first playoffs and you're like, this guy is so good. He fits already. And there's a lot of great stars in the league that have taken time to get to that. And some guys just magically get it right away. And it's tough. Even Johnny Tavares took a while to really bloom. Steven Stamkos really took a while to bloom. But then you look at the Makars, like I said, and Caulfield, and I mean, you're just like, I want that guy. And you could hate him, but you want that guy in your team because he just instantly makes an impact. And you're thinking wow, this guy's making nothing. We can now afford some other guys. And I mean, eventually you get to the point where you actually do make money. The Marners and Matthew, all these guys have earned that right to make that kind of money. But when you get to see it so early and you think maybe we can mold these guys to, make a little bit less so we can get more guys around them. And kudos to Toronto. They got close. I mean, there's a lot of great pieces there. I can't stand that team. But at the same time, you look at how they're built. You're right, Jason Spezza, what's not to like about that? And you can start fitting all those other guys. Joe Thornton, again, is a great example. All they want to do is win. At the end of the day, they want a ring. They want to hold up the Stanley Cup. And if that means they have to take a little bit more or less money because they've already made plenty of it, I mean, wouldn't we all love to be in that position where you're like, you know what? I don't really need the money. I'm just here to make sure that things go really, really well at the end of the year.
Yeah, no shit, right?
How great would that be?
It'll be interesting to see what Montreal does now with, word that Shea Weber, he's messed up his ankle and that's, and he was a real, big part of this magical playoff push that they had. So, and it's guys like that. It's the grit guys. It's the veterans that can take a young team and, guide them a little bit more and sort of get their headspace in the right place. And that's why I love, Spetz is back. Wayne Simmons is back. Whether or not Thornton, I haven't heard. I don't know if that's going to happen. Joe looked a little tired by the end of the round there. So
the deal trying to figure out Hyman's situation, right? And then
he's gone, man. He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
Hyman,
I think Joe comes back. I think Joe comes back, and I think Ryan. I think Edler goes to Montreal, and there we are.
Ooh, Montreal, interesting. We think Calgary.
I think Hyman's going.
They took the rest of the Canucks. So
I think Hyman's going to end up
Tampa. He's going to go where Olin and Salo both went. So
I think Hyman ends up in Edmonton.
Yeah, I was thinking the same if he goes anywhere.
Ryan, that's thanks for joining us for Nerds on Ice. Where can everybody find you? We'll let you get out of here, buddy. Where can everybody find you?
PP1 Podcast. We're obviously also on the network. If you haven't noticed by now, we're recording episode 100 this week. We've got
congratulations, man! Awesome.
We've got a former Canuck, Dixon Ward, on. We're giving away a ton of prizes. I've got some great partners that have given us summer skates. We've got our summer skates, the hockey laces. Sandals. Today is the deadline. I'm putting my order tomorrow. $29. You get a sweet black sandal with our little logo on it. They're super comfy. So we're doing that. We've got a bunch of other prizes as well. We like to give away stuff on our show for some reason. I don't know why, but that seems to be our MO. We've also got we've got some guests lined up in the next couple of weeks that through connections is the only way these things would happen. I will tease this to everybody. It is one of the 31 coaches so far in the NHL that'll be on our show.
All right.
Yeah. So it's that's the only teaser. So I don't know if any of our hockey listeners are going to be on this one necessarily, but little teaser for everybody. I literally dropped my phone when I found out who was coming on. Like I geeked out mega hard. So for me, hey, Ryan, that's a big deal because
we've also booked a big giant actor,
George Clooney.
No, but as vague as what you just made it. So you've made a bit.
I'm just saying when you see, you're gonna know that we did a good job. So Anyway, that's where we are. Like I said, episode 100 this week. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, we're just here to talk hockey, and whatever else. Obviously, big week. Expansion draft is tomorrow. The actual draft is Friday. Next Wednesday is free agency. So it's a month later than normal in the hockey season, but this is what we live for. Sadly, it is almost August, and I try not to think about hockey, but here we are.
Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Man. Enjoy. Thanks. Awesome, I got the Loki talk, and holy crap, I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah,
man, I'm geeking out hard on that. Thanks so much, guys.
You gotta redeem yourself after all those shit movies you listed. Anyways, thanks for coming on. Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
That was mean.
You're making me cry as I walk out the door. Jeez,
you're okay, Ryan. That's all right. Don't listen to him.
Love you guys. Thanks so much.
Take care, buddy.
Cheers. Wow. You're terrible.
Hey, man, he was my neighbor. Fuck that. Okay. He was my neighbor.
All right on. Well, I'd be a good neighbor.
That's right. Yeah, he's great.
By the way, I wanted to pass along a message to you. Our buddy who was hoping to get on the pod, but he's had a busy couple of days. I've slept 5 hours in 2 days. Not sure how I'd sound. For instance, I'm out here on the deck listening to Sun Shower by Chris Cornell. It's his birthday, and we had a sun shower, so I gapped out, and that was it. So hopefully season 2.
His post was the best, where he said he was hit by a freight truck or something with carrying elephants. So I'd imagine.
Yeah, he had a busy. We talked a little bit about his Money in the Bank experience, and he was a little bit sore. Happy, felt good about it.
Let me tell you something. I have to tell you from the outsider perspective of listening to this thing. When I heard he was working with Seth, I was like,
oh.
Then I saw Seth come in and kick him in the back of the neck, and I'm like,
Hey, here's the thing.
Come on, man.
Here's the thing. As a fan, I
sure it's going to be great, but
as a fan, I'm looking forward to this because there's a built-in history. Because they teased this, 7 years ago with the whole curb stomp, and I remember Adam was not thrilled that he couldn't do anything about it because he's of the mindset, that if I can't follow through on something, it rings a little shallow. So it's cool that they're going to get to do this. I'm excited because it's not the focus. And as I have seen and maybe have heard that if the focus is on Vince and people have hands in the pie, and it's not as much fun if you're in the pie. I think with Roman and John Cena doing their thing for SummerSlam, and the eyes and the hands will be in that pie. I think Adam and Seth are going to do amazing things because they're going to be left alone. And when you leave two very creative guys to their own devices under the radar, that's when the gold's going to happen. That's kind of like Jericho and I can't remember. I think it was Jericho and CM Punk.
Punk, yeah.
Yeah, when nobody expected, like they were just kind of like not the afterthought, but it was Rock and Cena, and Jericho and CM Punk basically went in there, stole the show, and I think this is what's going to happen. But yeah, dude, he took a beating. They were physical. It was old school. It was storytelling. It was paced. It was building to something, and that was really cool to watch. So I like the pay-per-view. It was Peacock in the States. Worst idea the WWE ever did was sell their network to NBC because they don't know how to run a fucking stream to save their lives. Lots of anger because the feed kept cutting out for a good chunk of the men's Money in the Bank match. And, because the network runs on the network outside of the US, they didn't realize what was going on, and NBC was dragging their heels from what I understand. So yeah, the worst idea. And right now, man, if I'm the WWE, I know they've got money hand over fist, but you start making things like that happen. You start, little things. Those other guys, the ones that aren't your competition but are drawing eyes to their product, it just boosts them, and very quickly things can change. But that's just
starts with better writing and better storytelling and better everything. Michael, where can we find you on everything? Because you're everywhere. What did you add to the list this week?
To the list this week, nothing of major. No, we're just still rolling along. Same old guys. Turn on Showcase if you miss me, because I'll tell you all about the shows that are coming up. It's same old, man. And I'm excited. I was thrilled that Ontario finally got to go back to the movies. I love the fact that, we can go to Cineplex again. And we joke about, go see it because I don't get money from it. I say this just because it's a cool thing. And I love the fact that you can go with your kids to the movies and, hey, there's Mike, that's kind of comforting to me. So, but yeah, man, it's same old. And thanks so much for having me part of season 1 of the Escalator podcast. It's been a lot of fun, man. I learned a ton from you, Chris. I mean, I am, again, I've said this before, I'm not a comic book nerd at all. I wasn't, I didn't know as much. You and JJ, you guys elevated my my MCU knowledge. Not so much the DC stuff, but it's okay because
that's because no one fucking talked about it. I'm the only one that will talk about it, for Christ's sake.
Just wait till James Gunn's Suicide Squad comes out, and then
there we go.
It just takes a Marvel director to improve the DC universe. So, but no, it's been a ton of fun. I'm excited for season 2. And yeah, man, hopefully you'll have me back. I'm quite happy to spend my Tuesdays with you cats.
While we're hosting, we're having tryouts. So
okay, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Just send me some audition lines. That's my job. I audition all the time. So
give us something to go out with, like Kids on the Escalator.
I got nothing. I honestly, it's like with Chris, telling a comedian to do a joke, tell a voice guy to just do something, say something. Again, the following program may contain scenes of nerdity, not nudity, nerdity. The Kids in the Escalator podcast. But Chris, congratulations on Skeletron, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Fucking
Appreciate
awesome.
That,
I've got my comic is displayed on my shelf. It is currently actually behind my Edge bobblehead.
Cool.
And just in line with my with that amazing sketch, my Mandalorian sketch, man. So awesome. I love having your artwork here. And Brent, man, as soon as things really get back to normal, man, I'm coming out west to.
Well, I'll be your way before you're my way, buddy.
Hey, at some point,
I'm in Toronto. I'm in Toronto in the end of September. So there we go.
Really?
I'll let you know.
Fantastic. Boys, I'm going to try and do this. Where's that? Okay, I just have to push one button now. I bid you all a fond farewell. And as Wayne and Schuster used to sing, I can see by the clock on the wall, it's time to bid you one and all goodbye. Anyway, that's my old reference.
You're old. You're fucking old.
I am.
Jesus,
hey,
you're old.
Everybody says Dean's old. I think I'm older than Dean, which is crazy shit. So does that make me like an uber old man nerd then, I guess? I don't know.
Just makes me the youngest on the show. Makes me the youngest on the show still. Yes.
Oh, man. All right. Have a great summer, guys. We'll talk in the fall. Peace.
Hey, buddy. Take care. There he goes.
Look at that guy. He's able to cut himself right off.
This was like a 2-hour summer special, wasn't it?
Well, we said we were going to go. We said we were going to go long. We knew we were going to go long. We got a plethora of guests.
Yeah. There's the Skeletron issue number 2, and hidden inside of one issue will be a golden ticket, which is going to get you a nice piece of an original Skeletron artwork. All you got to do is buy a comic. You might find a golden ticket in it. We might even put a few golden tickets out there. We're not sure yet. But if you get the golden ticket, man, you're going to get yourself a cool prize. Right now, it's just like one piece of artwork. But by the time it's out and released, we're probably going to have a bunch of stuff you get with this golden ticket. So, yeah, so incentive. And this should be, the order goes out tomorrow. Usually takes a week to get them. So probably by this time next week, we'll have Skeletron issue number 2 ready for sale, which I'm very excited for.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited as your friend. I know it's all you've ever wanted to do, man. And it's just every single time you put one out, it's like, this is the only thing I put out. We got this thing, and then I got my own show, and that's the only thing I put out to the world. That's it. And I'm excited every time I get a chance to do this show. But then we also, I got my own, and that's when I put out. That's going to be it. My stuff will be out there. So to see yours in hard copy form out there, it's fantastic.
Very exciting, my friend. Very exciting. Lots of new characters. We're introducing the military in issue 2 and leading into one of the biggest bad guys at the very last page of issue 2. So it's leaves on a cliffhanger there for another new. The first 4 issues are basically on introducing a bunch of main characters, right? But in a cool way. So after issue 4, they're going to some of the stories will kind of be capped, or at least you'll have an idea what's going on in this universe. And then our hero is going to take off to Wolf Island for an adventure. And if you haven't been to Kingston, Wolf Island, man, has no stop signs, no police, no anything out there. So imagine what would have happened, on the Fade to Black, what would have happened out there, all the evil. So
is that island, without getting into tourism, it's like it's a thing, right? Like it's like a party island or something. What is it?
There's a beach out there, man, with clear water and like rocks and stuff. But you have to walk 15 minutes to a half hour to get there from a spot, right? But yeah, it's a nice little place. Like I was out there for one of my friend's weddings, and we stayed overnight there at a little motel, and it was all really old fashioned from the past, right? So, but no police out there, no stop signs. Like that, it's martial law. Watch out.
So, I know your bladder's probably calling you, but your thoughts on season 1?
I'm all good.
Thoughts on season 1? Season 1
this year? Yeah, my favorite episode this year was the toy episode we did. I really had fun with the toy episode with we had Todd Kearns on there, and we had Brent Fitz on there as their main guys. Yeah, I was trying to think of not their nicknames, but their real actual names.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make that a yearly thing, I think.
Oh, of course. That was around Christmas. That was just before Christmas, wasn't it? We did that. That was another one right before. Maybe we took a break, maybe or something. I can't remember. But that was my favorite episode of the year. I really, really enjoyed that one. But then we did the last one we did that was really, really cool. Hey, thanks, Kim.
The aliens, the aliens. Is Kim heading out? Let's see what she says. Hey,
you're the best, Kim. And I'm good. Hey.
Thanks, Kim. Woohoo! Yes, one for me.
That was like my rating for the Black Widow movie. It was good.
There was a lot of highlights, man. That Christmas episode was a blast. Everyone coming on with their Christmas movies. We had a big roster of people that joined, including Beth Phoenix. So thank you, Beth, for joining us. Thanks, Mike, for hooking that up. Man, there was a lot of support too. Dean gave us a lot of support. Lochlin coming on, trying to school them, as Mike said, trying to learn something. Even I learned something. I mean, I'm just the guy on the other side of the screen, but you're our teacher. So it's it was awesome. It was a really cool thing. We did like 38 episodes, whatever. That's 38 weeks. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what, 3/4 of a year worth of shows, and we're going to break and probably come back in September. I'm guessing. I'm going to be in town, so my feeling is that we should debut season 2 when I'm there with you.
Yeah, we could do
end of September. Together. It's a little long, but we'll see. We'll see what we're going to do there. Definitely, there's going to be a break. It won't be nothing. Tune into us on YouTube. Stand by for all the micro content. We're going to have all the highlights from season 1 on Twitter, YouTube, everything. And we really encourage you guys to please join us over on YouTube, subscribe. Eventually, we're going to be broadcasting a lot from YouTube and doing the rest of it. And because that's where it's at. So, so many things. Everyone, please go buy Chris's Skeletron.
Hey, Skeletron. You go to Etsy, the Etsy stores. You just go to the Etsy store, etsy.ca, and it's Machete Comics, and it's one word. Don't put a space between Machete and Comics. And then just put it in Google, like if you really want to search other things. Facebook, we have a Machete Comics page on there. And follow me on Twitter, Chris Machete. Follow me on Instagram, Chris Machete. I put lots of comic book stuff on there. I'm getting lots of followers, and I get at least 300 views on my each Twitter thing. That's the lowest, at least 300. Get lots of views on my Twitter. And I chat with a lot of people on Twitter. Found some really good friends on there, really good friends. So, yeah, look me up on Twitter, man.
A huge thanks to our friends at Blue Microphones that sponsor us here, the Brenton On Tour Podcast, the Kids on the Escalator with the Yeti and the Mix-Fi headphones, despite some of the tech issues, which I feel like it's us, me, or the cord, or whatever the hell is going on. They've been pretty awesome all year. So
I got a loose USB on mine.
I think that's what it is. But we'll run a little promo from them before we get out of here. Huge thanks.
There it is.
Lonnie, huge thanks to Lonnie.
Way to go, Lonnie.
For all of her help this year. Graphics, you name it. Everything she did to help us launch this show. Amazing. Amazing stuff. We couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much for all of your amazing work this year and getting us up and going. Really great.
Lonnie.
A lot of fun.
I'll give her a smack when we go upstairs. Smack on the butt. Good job, Lonnie. Good job.
Only way to go is up. We got lots of stoke for season 2. Sounds like we're gonna have some big guests and keep the train rolling. So
lots of fun, lots of cool stuff. You guys got any suggestions of what you would like to see on our show? Please just let us know, and we'll see what we can do. We got connections.
This has been the Kids on the Escalator podcast.
Yeah,
Final one, season 1, season ender, the season finale. Find us at Kids on the Escalator on Twitter. Kids on the Escalator on Instagram, everywhere you guys follow your pods, subscribe, like. As I said, we did 15,000 downloads in season 1, which is great.
Awesome.
So let's double that up next year and have even more fun.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks to the Dean Blundell Network. Diener, amazing. All right. Good times.
Rad dudes. Have a good night, folks. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.